What actually makes elite runners so much better at running than the average runner? Because we all know that they're on a completely different planet in terms of capability. Because of my goal to become the best possible runner that I can be, I've been given this question a lot of thought. Aside from the obvious, insane mileage, insane genetics, access to the best technology, perfect programming, almost perfect running economy and form, there's one thing that seems to stand out above all else from all the reading and all the research that I've been doing. But firstly, what is an elite level runner? To me, when I'm talking about elites, I'm talking about people who can run a sub 2:30 marathon, 2:20 marathon, knocking on the door to a sub 15-minute 5K, probably already at a sub 15-minute 5K. The average runner running a 5K, the average time for a male is around 29 minutes and the average time for a female is around 38 minutes. Over the marathon distance, the average bloke will take around 4 hours and 21 minutes and the average female around 4 hours and 38 minutes. A mere 2 hours slower over the marathon distance than what an elite level runner does. So why is that gap so big? And it's a question that I've been trying to get my head around and something that I've been trying to understand and work out, maybe even apply some of those principles to my own training. So from all the research and reading that I've been doing and from looking at how these elite level athletes train and perform, one thing that seems to stick out and seems to give the biggest bang for the buck above more than anything else in the training, and that's the fact that they've been running high mileage over the long term, and they've been doing it consistently, not just for a few years, but they've been doing it for 5, 10 years, decades even, probably starting when they're young children, all the way up into the teens, layering the mileage every single year, all the way through the 20s, all the way through the 30s. It's not uncommon to see endurance, elite level endurance runners, I'm talking half marathon, marathon distance, hitting PBs well into their mid 30s. And what has that long-term consistent high mileage training done? Well, it's built up these massive aerobic bases, and it's that aerobic base which is raising the level of all the other ceilings in regards to fitness and speed, and it's those huge aerobic bases which allow these elites to travel at incredible speeds over such long distances. These elite level runners can literally cruise in zones 1 and zones 2, really low intensity efforts for them, and an amateur runner will be in like zone 5, zone 6, just trying to keep up with an elite level zone 1, and that's what allows these elites to run at such fast paces over such long distances. Most people's 5K time wouldn't even be quick enough to keep up with an elite level's marathon pace. That's how good these guys and women are. They're just so quick at such long distances, and it's all underpinned by this massive aerobic base that they've spent years and years developing. So how can the average runner run monster mileage and also build up an aerobic race? I think the reality is most of us just can't do it. And it's not from a lack of want or maybe even the motivation to do it. Believe me, if I had all the time in the world and someone was paying me to do it, I would happily dedicate the next decade to get as good as running as what I possibly could do. Unfortunately, corporate life, family life, the reality is that's just not possible, and that's just not possible for a lot of people out there. With long distance running, endurance running, to get to elite level in this sport, you need to dedicate so much time, because the whole journey is just underpinned by that massive aerobic base, which is just built up from monster mileage, consistently ran over the long term. I think for a lot of amateur runners, they're probably running at a mileage which suits them and suits their lifestyle. They're then throwing speed work on top of that, which means they will get faster, but I think there's a ceiling there, and that ceiling is capped by that inability to run even further mileage and raise that aerobic base and raise that ceiling. But let's just say, hypothetically, we had all the time in the world and we could dedicate as much time as we wanted to this sport. How would we actually build up consistently and build up that monster base and build up that aerobic base? I think the reality is the vast majority of the running has to be easy. If you're running at intensity and you're running high mileage, intensity builds up fatigue, it risks injury, it risks getting burnt out. And when you look at the programs of elite level runners, they're running around 80% of their mileage is done at a low intensity and easy pace. And right now, this is exactly what I'm trying to do. Obviously, I know I'm never going to be an elite level runner. I didn't start running until I was 30 years old. I've got a corporate job. I've got a young family. I've got lifestyle constraints. I've got time constraints. I'm never going to be able to run the monster mileage and put in the dedication that elite level runners can do. However, what I am doing and what I am documenting on this channel is how far can I push myself and how much with a lifestyle that I've currently got with a corporate job, family, all that stuff. I'm doing it in a controlled, sustainable way, zero speed work at the minute. The stimulus that I'm sending to my body is increased mileage week on week, month on month, because my long-term goal in this sport is to become the best possible runner that I can be with the lifestyle constraints that I currently have. And I genuinely believe the way to do that is to run as highest mileage as possible. I believe the king to improving in this sport, and the one that sits above anything else, is consistent high mileage over the long term. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all soon.